So review, we're gonna go through the odds on the worksheet. This is number one. Go ahead, Olivia.
Well, let's see, you can start off by, putting the one below it into the Y, or that kind of thing.
Okay, yeah, substitution, we need to get either x or y by itself. So how do I get this y by itself?
Add 8x.
Add 8x. Oopsie.
And then it would be y equals negative 12
Girls.
plus 8x.
What do I do with that?
And then you would put that in the 4x plus 3 parentheses, negative 12 plus 8x equals negative 8.
Yeah, so I'm gonna grab my first equation. And then we got kind of a normal problem from there, right? We just gotta solve that for x. What's distributed property? Did you guys get any fractions or decimals on this page?
No.
I don't believe there were any.
What about 5?
And plus 36.
I don't think so. Okay, 4x plus 24x,
28x.
28x, I guess we need to add the 36. Get rid of it. That would be 28.
So x equals 1.
X is 1. Plug it in. Let's put it right here. It's usually the easiest one. 8 times 1 is 1. Negative 12 plus 8. Or sorry, 8 times 1 is 8. Negative 12 plus 8.
Negative 4.
I was like, what are you trying
Alright. So far, so good?
Yeah.
Next. Who wants to try the next one? Or we could just go around it.
Me?
We could just go around. You want to do it?
Wait, which one is it?
You don't want to do it? You don't want to go around the room.
I nominate Paxton.
We should just make Olivia do all.
Round number 3.
What? No.
Oh, we're doing the odds, yeah.
I already did.
Okay.
Olivia's truly done.
Oh, I can.
L as Lydia.
Okay. So we're still supposed to use substitution on this. Paxton, you know what we should do first?
My scrap piece of paper.
I don't know.
No.
So
Long ago, people were making
I think you're so small.
we gotta get x or y by itself. How do I get x or y by itself?
Add 7x.
Yeah, just kind of like the last one. If I add the 7x, I get
Y
y
equals
equals.
negative 23 plus, or that.
Okay. And just like the last one, if that's what y is equal to, I can put that in for y in the other equation. So my top equation becomes if you got this one wrong, I bet I know why.
46.
Are you disappointed if you got it wrong?
It equals 46.
Huh?
Are you disappointed if you got it
It
wrong?
equals 46.
You're acting like you already got it wrong. We haven't even talked about it yet.
But
So,
what is it?
If you got it wrong, you probably didn't multiply by negative 2 on both of those. It's usually what people do. So negative 2 times 7 is minus 14x. Negative 2 times negative 23 is positive 46.
The x's cancel each other out.
That's 0, so 46 equals 46. Infinite solutions. Here's a hard question. Why is it infinite solutions
Because of the same number.
and not all real numbers?
Because not every.
Because it's the same thing.
Because it's a true statement.
It could be like.
Well, all real numbers is never going to be an answer on these kinds of problems. The reason is because the answers are like a pair of numbers. So if you say all real numbers, there's 2 different numbers. You can't just plug anything in and it works. You have to have a specific pair. Although there are an infinite, this is just an example, like maybe this is an answer, maybe this is an answer. there's an infinite number of pairs that work, but there's not any, you can't just plug in any number and it works. Does that make sense? Anyways, infinite solutions.
Fulfill Hope's dream and write Chick-fil-A.
Huh?
Fulfill Hope's dream and write
Yeah, just like
Chick-fil-A.
comparison.
Haven't already done that?
No?
No, you have
Do it twice.
I don't know if I can do it the way
With
they
the little
write it.
squirrel thing in your
no chick. What is
Honestly,
Yeah. It's a C.
It's a big C.
I don't really remember how the rest, that's how it looks.
No, the chicken.
No, the C is a chick.
C. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a
And then
C.
it's a
And
chick.
it
So
has-
it
it
has
has
strong.
little
Like
feathers.
there's an eye right there.
Yeah, keep going.
You're obviously got our
Chick.
Where's the fillet?
Wait, put
Oh, yeah, okay.
the little.
Well, like,
Oh, no.
so close. You're so close.
Alright, number 5, elimination. Let's try that.
Hope eats this time.
You ever in this thing
Nah.
essentially.
Okay, Eli.
Okay. We care.
What should we do first?
We should times the bottom by 2.
Yeah, so remember elimination is where you add the two lines together and you want to eliminate either the x's or the y's. If we were to multiply the bottom line times 2, that would turn our x's into negative 10x, which would eliminate with our top x's. So the bottom line times 2 is, and then we add that, what do we get, Eli, when we add that to the top line?
The x's would cancel out
Okay,
and leave us with negative 2y, which equals negative 12.
4 plus negative 18.
Oh yeah, negative 14.
So y would be
7.
7. And then where should we put that? Let's put it right in there. 3 times 7 is 21.
So then subtract 21.
Minus 21 is negative 30.
Then we divide by negative
Divided by negative 5 is
I'm just the whole
6 and 7.
Like 5, 6.
Is this new board better?
You're stupid.
In some ways, yeah.
You just.
In some ways, what? Have you heard of Korean boy band?
Shannon, please.
Look.
It looks nicer.
I don't listen to these books.
Okay, number 7. Somebody else. Who wants to try number 7?
Caden does. No, I don't. He races.
Kaden wants to try it.
Oh.
Look how desperate he is.
Yeah.
More like 2 home.
You're all this excited.
You wanted a number 1.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
Look at Kaden. He's getting so excited.
No, I'm not. What? He's smiling. See, he's excited. He really wants to do it.
Oh, why is that bigger?
Because
I
he's doing it.
accidentally moved it.
Well then,
Oh.
oh wait.
Still big.
Hope wants to do it.
Why? Just do it yourself.
I already did it on
You'll
my
change the
paper.
code.
Look it.
Or that's what it is. No, what? I have like 50 so like these guys. Oh.
Mine are
Give me
down there.
everything. All I
Why
do is
can't
find
I do
this
it
on
on
there.
there? Are you?
Because the dot doesn't
Alright, any volunteers or any calling somebody?
Call and hope.
Shannon.
What?
Okay.
Kaden wants to go.
Elimination, what do I need to do?
You times it by 2 at the bottom.
Bottom times 2, because what will that do for us?
It's the same
It'll
thing.
cancel out the
It makes that an 8.
Right, that would be an 8. That's what we want. So the bottom line times 2. Okay, and then if we add that to the top line, negative 7x plus 8x is 1x or just x. Negative 8y plus 8y is gone. Negative 23 plus 24 is 1.
so x equals
Getting it right so far?
It's 2.
Where should we put it back in? Let's put it right here. 4 times 1 is 4. If I subtract the 4, I get
8.
8. 4y equals 8. So y is 2.
1,
Como
2,
that's
How far does it zoom out?
5,
how far?
Oh my gosh, it's so
Not
tiny.
far.
8,
Wait, if you drawn it, is it like thin?
11,
Yes.
12.
Can you not make it like thinner with like the tool thing?
Yes.
Even thinner than that? How far does it zoom in?
I thought it would get thinner than that.
Don't you have to take a...
It's like not looking at.
How far does it zoom in?
Against.
What if you draw as far as you
So
zoom
it's
in?
last time.
That is very big. No,
You should draw details to the 8.
8.
It's, I've got it on the small one.
It's so seeing more positive.
Guys. Okay, number 9.
We are getting old.
Okay, anybody want to volunteer for that or call somebody?
Hope us to do it.
Kaden does.
We like
I didn't say anything.
Forest.
Yes. Shall I do the graph?
Yeah, where do we start at for the graph of number 9?
You go up 4.
Start at 4, 1, 2, 3. Straighten that out.
And then up 5, right 7.
Okay,
Well, you can go down 5, go down.
so instead of up 5 and right 7, since that'll fall off my graph, I can go backwards. So I can go down 5 and left 7.
Yeah.
Right there. Good.
And then you go to -2.
-2.
And then you go down, well, go up 1 full. That works.
Yeah, so it's either down 1, right 7, down 1, right 7, or it's up 1, left 7.
Up 1, left 7.
I know the rest.
Stretching.
Okay, is that it?
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's -7, -1.
Yeah. The answer is where the 2 lines intersect at, -7, -1, right there. Don't forget to put the answer. The graphs are not the answer. They're to help you find the answer. Okay, on number 10, did you remember how to graph x equals 7?
It's this way. It's
No.
vertical.
You go to the x-axis at 7, and then you draw a vertical line through that.
Yeah.
And then the slope, on the other one, the slope is -1 over 1. Okay, for some reason I failed to copy off the back of this sheet, so I have to borrow Olivia's or something. Do you guys remember how to set up the 11 and 12?
Yeah.
It's not, 11 and 12 are not supposed to be trick questions.
Here.
Still from Shannon.
Real answer, there are no kids. They're pretty basic. There are no children. We move in a simulation.
Alright, so it says high school A rented and filled 10 vans and 6 buses with 276 students. You guys remember what we wrote for those?
10A.
10.
Plus 6.
10 van plus 6 buses equals the total number of students. Okay. Now here's a tricky question. I kind of said it wrong. What does V actually stand
Van.
for? Not quite.
How many students the van can hold?
Right. The number of students in a van plus 6 times the number of students each bus. That'll give us the total number of students.
Wow, very, very touchy.
Yeah, very sensitive.
Oh, wow. That's actually pretty good.
Okay, and then the other one says, same thing for the second one. 5 vans, 2 buses, and those held 117. Alright, let's let's see, Anna, what's the easiest way to solve this problem?
I just multiplied the bottom by -2.
Bottom times -2, 'cause that will get rid of our
Oh, no.
V's for us.
Mr. Jordan, did you realize that kind of hexes?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they are. No, I did not. Actually, Olivia said something about it.
Her name. The entire time.
Us arguing about his cooler.
The entire time.
I got razors.
Look at it. You want-
You know,
Get in there.
I'm just gonna sit there.
Okay,
He's using.
Oh.
and then we add, we'll see if you got it right here, Shannon. Forgot to find the B value on this one. If we add the two lines together, our V's will go away, so we got 6B plus -4B, 2B, and 276 plus -234 is,
If I got that wrong, blame it on Josh. He helped me.
you didn't finish the problem.
Oh. Well, that's his fault.
Okay, divide by 2. What does that mean?
21 people.
The bus can hold 21 people.
I said that the bus can hold.
You said van.
Okay,
But
you actually solved for,
That number's like
okay, I don't know what you did actually. You didn't show any work is what you did. So B equals 21, and then I gotta plug that back in somewhere. Maybe right here. 2 times 21 is 42. So 5B plus 42 equals 117. Okay, and then it's normal. Minus 42, I believe that's 75. What's 75 divided by 5?
3.
what?
Probably.
Did you say 3?
15.
Each way.
Stop. I was guessing.
Okay, yeah, actually you did get that one. Okay, number 12 is pretty much the exact same kind of problem. So just kind of repeat what we did for 11. Okay, 13, I'm adding 13 and 14 on.
Oh no.
Did you guys get the note on that you didn't have to do 13 and 14?
And
Did
I
it?
did
No,
not.
I
I did not hear it, so
didn't.
apparently.
So I just.
Oh.
I heard.
I just wrote it in the email.
No, ask.
Or was this an email or was it on RenHub? I don't remember.
It was not on the
You
Yeah.
said parents should have gotten an email.
Oh yeah, email.
Get away from me, please.
Um,
Go away.
Okay, so we only did, I think, maybe one of these, maybe two. With the current, it's not a normal distance problem. Distance equals rate times time. It's got a water current. The problem that we did, I think, was a wind current. So instead of distance equals rate times time, the formula we're going to use is your rate, if you're going with the water, like downstream, it would be going that much faster than normal. And if you're going against the current, that your rate's going to be slowed down by the water. Does that make sense? So we're going to use one of each of these equations, basically, with the information they gave us. So the first thing it tells us is that they went like 280 miles upstream and then they came back. So what's that 280 miles telling us?
It's how.
It's half of that.
Or did they said down? They said downstream, didn't they?
Yeah, downstream and back. And back.
280 would be. So if you're going downstream, is that the water? Are you going with the water or against the water? With.
the water.
So which of those equations would downstream be?
The first one.
Yeah,
I mean, the second.
No, you're right the first time. The top one. Because if you're going down with the water's going to make you go faster.
Yeah.
So it's speeding you up that much. And it says going downstream took 7 hours. So where's the 7 hours going to be? So 280 is going to go for my distance. And That's downstream. My time is 7 hours. So that's equation number 1. Then equation number 2 is we came back upstream.
So it'd be divided.
So it would be this one, yeah. And I think, didn't it say 14 hours? So it takes, you went the same distance upstream as downstream, so. For 14 hours. Okay. There's a couple ways that we can solve this. Anybody have a guess?
So.
Oh.
Divide by 7.
Right. Okay, you could, if you wanted to, like distribute property, like 7R plus 7W. And then you'd have like, same thing down here, multiply out to 14. But actually on these problems, it's gonna be easier if we just get rid of the 7. How do I get rid of the 7? Right. Because 7 is multiplied to the whole right side. If I just divide the right side by 7, it goes away. So that's what I'm gonna do. But if I divide the right side by 7, I need to divide the left side by 7. So that top equation becomes, what's 280 divided by 7? 40. The right side, this becomes R plus W. You guys know what R stands for in this problem? Rate of
About.
the boat without any water. Like if the water was still, that's how fast you go. W stands for the water current, the speed of the water. Okay, and then you can do the same thing on this bottom equation, just divide by 14 this time. Anybody know what 280 divided by 14 is?
20.
20. Okay, and now we got two relatively simple equations. What should I do? Add the lines together, because what's going to happen to the W's? Bye-bye. Just add the lines together. So I get 40 plus 20, 60 equals, no, 2R. So R equals 30. So basically the boat normally, like without, goes 30 miles per hour.
Is that fast?
That's like a person going like a grown adult going full speed, sprinting. Probably faster than most people
It
actually.
depends. Some people are very slow. I thought Usain Bolt.
Are you just-
Are you lagging 27 points?
It's hard to know.
Possible. Maybe faster than Usain Bolt.
Oh,
Okay, so that's the rate of the boat normally, and then how do I find the water speed?
Magic.
Put 30, plug it back in, just like every other problem,
That's
right?
10, right?
So 30 plus what equals 40? 10, so the water speed must be 10. Okay, number 14, you can just basically do the same thing with different numbers. So go ahead and do 13 and, the rest of that. I'm not gonna make a new assignment today. We will probably in about 3 or 4 minutes review graphing inequalities, but that's all.